And hello everyone, it's Foxys. I hope you guys are doing well. In today's video we're gonna take a look at Evasion versus Endurance. So previously the TLDR was if you run daggers you go Evasion, if you don't run daggers you just go Endurance. It was kind of the rule. Now with the 1.8 patch things change a little bit because we got weekends back into the meta. So we got like some debuff. I will show you now. So we have the lightning infusions, which is a dagger skill, which decreases endurance by 20 per stack up to 20 times, so minus 400 maximum. Even though there is a bug right now where you can go even further, and because it's takeable per player, so you could potentially get like 100 stacks on you and get I don't know, like minus 600, minus 1000 endurance, minus 2000. Also because it persists after death, so basically like it doesn't reset. I mean, it's not always the case, but it doesn't always reset when you die. So yeah, like it's a bit of a problem, but we're gonna ignore that, and hopefully it's gonna be fixed soon. And we have the blind on the flash wave, which decrease hit chance by 300. So those two buffs together, they both gonna have an impact in your choice between endurance or evasion. And for that we're gonna do like a little bit of calculation here. So this is the build that I've been showcasing in the previous video. It's an endurance based build. It has a pretty good stat with a good range, decent critical hit chance. We could get a bit higher, but it's alright. We have a good heavy attack chance. Yeah, overall like good stat, you know, like good hit and HP pool. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty decent. And we're gonna first compare it with the exact same build since we are focusing on Liberator. And as you can see here, with absolutely like no buff debuff, we are on 88% chance not to be crit for magic and 82 for range. Now we're gonna straight away apply some buff and debuff because not gonna be like this almost. So the first one gonna be the 360 that you get from the distorted sanctuary, which is 60 endurance per player in your party, so 360 total. And we're gonna apply the sniper sense critical hit chance buff. It's 24 per distance, like each 1 meter of distance between you and your target. So we're gonna take like 10 meters. I think it's alright. So probably it's gonna be a bit more than that, but yeah, we're gonna take 10 meters and add here 240. And as you can see here, very good, almost like barely not gonna take any crit from the same build, both in magic and range. So still very solid. If they attack you, like if they have like a bit less critical chance, they even like not gonna crit you at all, and on top of that you're gonna be reducing the damage. Here as you can see you have min and max damage, and what is happening when you have like more endurance that the enemy has critical hit chance is you reduce the damage, like it's glancing effect. So yeah, like endurance very solid on Liberator. Now we'll just put back this, and we're gonna apply the lightning infusion. So minus 400, and now we keep this passive here, so we're gonna just put minus 40. And we are now on 71% magic, 67% range. So still pretty decent, still pretty solid. You're gonna be relatively tanky by running endurance on Liberator. Obviously, like if you take 10 flash waves, you're not gonna survive that. It's even if you reduce the damage or don't get crit, eventually you're just gonna die. It's gonna be too much damage for you. But yeah, endurance still a solid choice if there is not the bug, obviously. And the pro as well from endurance is that you don't sacrifice any offensive stats, sorry. So for example, like you're not gonna sacrifice the range on the cloak, you're not gonna sacrifice the range on the gloves. Yeah, like you can focus more on offensive items rather than stacking defensive items, which is the case for the evasion. So let's go to now evasion build. Evasion build, the difference is like evasion doesn't work if you have less evasion than the enemy has hit chance, so you are forced to actually have like a high enough evasion so it works, you know. And Liberator by nature is not the class that wants to build evasion, because this is really like evasion is really like built around using daggers, because daggers has a lot of passive that gives you extra evasion. But still, you will see that with the current meta and the weekends, it can work actually pretty decently. So in here we have the Phantom Wolf tunic because it has 170 magic evasion. We have the Phantom Wolf gloves that have 144 range evasion. And we have the Ancient Tapestry mantles that has both magic and range evasion. And with that, we are on 1200 magic evasion base and almost 1200 range evasion. And as you can see here, versus the exact same build as previously, like the Liberator Endurance, we have 20% chance to evade in magic, 70% in range. So 1 attack out of 5, almost for magic, a bit less for range, which is overall decent. It's not crazy, like the range is still a lot. It's because the thing with evasion is like either you avoid the hit, either you take it. So there is not this thing where you just take less damage that you have like with endurance. It's really like either you take the full hit, either you don't. Now we're gonna assume that we have the Victorious Energy on, which is 460 evasion. And as you can see here already, we start to have a very high chance. So we are on 41% chance to avoid enemy attack, 40% for range. It's still kind of RNG, but it's already like much better, you know, like really like on 10 flash wave, potentially you're gonna just take 6 of them and you might survive, you know, like maybe not 6 flash wave, but you know, like you get the idea. And as I said before, there is a blind and flash wave, so probably like most of the people are gonna play with minus 300 hits during GVG and ZVZ, so we're gonna apply the minus 300 here. And we are already on 50% chance to evade in magic, 50% in range. So it's 1 out of 2 attacks, so it starts to be very strong. Like here you can start to see the potential you have on evasion. You're gonna be avoiding 1 out of 2 attacks. Still RNG, but yeah, you get the idea. Obviously, like versus another Liberator, they have the 460 bonus, like hit bonus from the Victorious Energy, so it will just bring back basically to 1/3 like previously. But yeah, like, and if you didn't have yours, as you can see here, you're probably gonna evade any attack, especially like if they are not debuffed. So if they are not debuffed and they are buffed, your evasion not gonna work, so you're gonna just have no defensive stats basically. The downside of evasion on top of that is that it's much more expensive to threat than endurance. Unless you have all your threats done, it's probably not gonna be efficient. Let's say like here you don't have like 2 threats finished, so it's gonna be minus 320. And let's say like you have like 2 items that are not threat yet. And as you can see here, we have like only 800, and you're not gonna evade anything, even if they are like debuffed. Your RNG is still pretty low, so that's a very like big downside of evasion. More expensive to threat and needs to be fully trained to actually be worth something. And the extra thing for Liberator, at least, is that you need to sacrifice offensive item to get more evasion, otherwise it's just not worth it playing evasion. So yeah, that's all the downside of playing evasion. And now it's a bit up to you to choose to play endurance or evasion. In my case, I'm now playing evasion because I also play Spellblade and Infiltrator, which is like bow daggers and staff daggers. It depends. I just switch depending on my mood or like the content it is. Like on smaller scale, I'm playing staff daggers. I do a bit of bow daggers, but still, like in a large scale, I come back to Liberator because it does just have like more things to do, or spell, offensive spell, and I just still enjoy playing that. But it's a bit of waiting for the Belanger stuff so I can be at max potential playing Blade. But yeah, I will leave you on that. At the end of the day, it's really like your choice and what you prefer in terms of gameplay. And I think nowadays both are really good. There is not one that is better than the other one. They all have like pro and cons. Have a good day.